on, y'all? So I want to share a story with y'all really quick. All right, here goes. So there's this guy named Abraham, like A.B. Ram, and he had a nephew named Lot. This is a story from the Bible, by the way, okay? Just in case you hadn't picked that up yet. There's a meaning. Don't go crying on me just because it comes from the Bible. Let's not argue, we're just talking. So anyways, Abraham believed in the Lord and what the Lord asks us to do. And a lot of that is tied into generosity. So in this one instance, he's been growing so much and prospering so much, and he's got a lot of livestock and things like that, and his nephew does too. And they're growing so much that they're herdsmen, and the cattle and everything is starting to clash. They're prospering. It's a wonderful place to be. It's a good problem to have. And he says, hey, because like the herdsmen are beginning to fight, because we're running out of room, we're family. Let's not fight over this. Let's split ways. You go to whatever area you think you prefer, and I'll go to the other. And he gives this guy Lot, that's his nephew, the choice. He says, you pick which one you want. You take whichever side looks better to you, left or right, and I'll go the other way. Lot looks at this one side and he says, man, that looks beautiful. That's the best side clearly, and he chooses that. So Abraham seems like he lost out by allowing Lot to take what looked like the better side. But what you have to understand is Abraham wasn't losing anything. He was choosing the things of God, which are self-sacrifice, not self-preservation. He was willing to take what seemed like lesser because of the generosity within himself. Now, Lot made a choice rooted out of self-preservation. He chose what looked like would fare him the best. But you have to remember that the good things in life come from God. When you have the creator of the universe who's going to dictate how well you do in your life, it's good to have his favor. And you have to let go of this concept that you're in complete control of your life. You're not. You have no choice but to hope for something better to happen or pray for it. One of the two. So anyways, what we just saw was me, what seems like giving up my food. All right, y'all, so I want to share something with y'all real quick. Originally, when we came out here to try to help people, right? All right, y'all, so we're here at this Acacia Park, or however you say it, I don't know. But anyway, so what we're gonna try to do today is we're actually gonna try to help some people. Now, common misconception is that in order to help someone, you gotta provide something, or help them accomplish some task, or give money, or financial support, or whatever. But we don't have those things to offer right now. All I can offer at this point, in my opinion, is encouragement, wisdom, experience, the supernatural transformation that's been happening in my own life thanks to the gospel. And so just remember that, in my opinion, those things are far more valuable in helping a person in their life than any material thing you could ever do. Now, I don't really have much of anything to offer anyone, but what's funny is a while back I was praying and I asked God to help me to be able to be generous despite the fact that I'm like, homeless guy living out of my car now. All right, so what ends up happening is, funny story. I met this girl at a Starbucks. I can't name the location because they can kind of get in trouble for this stuff. But long story short, out of like the generosity of her heart, she gave me this, jeez, hold on, I freaking do this. All right, so long story short, she gave me this bag of all these like flavored croissants and stuff for food. How cool is that, right? So at first I was really excited because I was like, man, thank you, God, for just being generous and taking care of me and giving me food. But what's ironic is I just met a guy who said he needs help and anything would help, even food. So I feel like if anyone has the right to not be generous or not tip a few bucks, it's me, okay? Because I don't even have a job. I'm just out here. But the thing is, I prayed for the means to be able to be generous. Something was given to me, and now I have a chance to give it to somebody else who needs it even more than I do, even though I still feel like I need it. But the point is, give generously and it shall be given to you. So because we were given to, let's go on ahead and continue that, and let's give to others. We're here in the Colorado area visiting, and I just made a new friend. This guy's name's Jesse. Just disclaimer, he's also a traveler. Him and his girlfriend, they're going all around, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we got a couple questions for him. So I guess my big question for you, Jesse, would be, how have you seen God in your life?
God always finds some way to provide.
Let me ask you something. Like, what led you to him originally?
I was a young kid. I was raised up in church. I used to play drums for the youth there, and I've just been raised up in my whole life. And that's the way I've always believed in, and always will.
All right, so this guy, he's been on the road, and just God's been providing for him, which is just, it's encouraging, man. Okay, dude, thanks for your time.
No, thank you.
All right. I then even went into a Starbucks and bought some more for them. The couple that I was talking to, it turns out it's that guy Jesse, but also his girlfriend Nikki came around, and we actually had a chance to pray together, and we had a chance for her to begin the path of Christianity and pray over that. And it was a beautiful thing, but it's like I had to give up my food, and then I went and spent, what limited money I have on providing more food for them. But you have to understand that the second I put me first is the second I'm no longer at that point of self-sacrifice. That's not faith. That's wanting to make things work by the strength of my own hand. And the longer you live in this life, the more you realize how hard it is, the more you realize how little you have control over, the more you realize, you need supernatural help at times, or you're just going to continually get beat down. So the point is, look at Abraham's choice. He sacrificed, but the Lord loves when you walk in his ways. He loves when you pursue that path. He loves when you are willing to give and not put yourself first. And he will bless you, and he will provide for you, and he will take care of you. So in the moment right now, the immediate situation is I just lost out on food, but I have faith, and I believe in him, and I believe that if any of this stuff's going to work, what I'm seeking is impossible to begin with. So I have no choice but to have faith and trust that something supernatural is going to work out. All right, but the second, even in the middle, I can get lost in the middle of this. So just whatever you're doing in your life, stop hanging on to stuff. Start letting go. Start learning to put others first. Start learning to be sacrificial in the way that you give. Stop trying to hang on to your life because you can't. And you shut down relationships, and you shut down the ability to build bridges because all you care about is yourself. Like, stop living for yourself. That doesn't get you anywhere but alone. If you live for yourself, you end up alone. But if you live for others, you have others. So just remember that, y'all. And remember that what you do with your life, really does matter. And there are those people, I've already talked to them who disagree with what I'm doing and think that it's foolish. But to me, you're either going to live for your own good or live for the good of others, So, and one of those impacts the world and one doesn't. And here's the other thing. God promised Abraham these huge blessings for the good of humanity and the good of the nation that would occur after he died. Think of that for a second. Imagine you're in Abraham's shoes. Wrap your head around that. All of a sudden, God's like, yeah, I'll bless you after you're dead. Is the incentive still there anymore? Do you still want to do that anymore? If God showed up in your life and he's like, tell you what, I'll bless you by making sure all of your ancestors benefit the world. But, nowhere in that promise is he saying you're going to be okay. Would you still be interested? Be honest with yourself, because a lot of us, you want God to bless you now. You want your life to be blessed. You want everything about you to be blessed and to be what benefits. You want to be the beneficiary to the blessings. But Abraham loved the world and the people in it, and he cared, and he was a man of God. And to him, a true blessing would be for the good of humanity more so than himself. So just remember, get your head in the right place, live for others. Don't make this life about you. Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to sacrifice, and have faith in something bigger than yourself. Because if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in any of this, you are a pointless animal. In all honesty, if you don't have faith in anything higher than this, then there's no point in us being here. We're nothing but animals, and you don't have a soul. So don't get out of here with that nonsense. So get a little worked up. So the point is, put others first. Make the mission of your life about others and not yourself. Figure out how you can dedicate yourself to the greater good and not self-preservation. And I promise what will come out of that will give you a life of fullness. Okay, so talk to y'all soon.